The trials of the realms. The rules of reality work differently in each realm. Common physics in one realm works completely differently than in others. Time affects all realms differently, and even the availability of various elements and energies works differently. To a traveler of the cosmos, this makes most travel between realms seem impossible. But there are those who are able to travel from one realm to another with ease. These beings are commonly known as realm lords. To gain this ability, a person must first survive travel between two realms and regain their functionality and abilities within the second realm. Dacheldor and Darkfire both experienced this when they first traveled to Limbo. For Dacheldor, it was only because of his immortality that he survived the trip, and Darkfire only survived by being reincarnated by Reapers in Limbo. Once the person has survived such a trip and restored themselves to equal capability, they are forever changed by the experience. They can now more readily detect the shifting of realities and even accommodate such a switch to allow them to move back and forth between their original and second realm. They often find the abilities that mirror each other in each realm are stronger and more potent in both. If they manage to travel to a third realm, as Dacheldor did when he started his second incarnation, this can further strengthen any abilities that are capable of working in all three realms. Long-term exposure to the outer realms, known as the heavens and hells, can also improve an individual's ability across realms because all abilities and realities are capable in those realms. They are the only realms where individuals from any realm can go to without losing any capability, though the strange mixing of all these realities can make them maddening or euphoric to the unprepared. Those with long-term exposure to the outer realms, who have also regained capabilities across 2 or 3 realms, are likely to be able to survive travel to multiple realms without the original crippling effects. Their bodies rapidly recover, and they are left to regain their particular abilities and powers. Such people are prime candidates for learning to be realm lords. By traveling from one realm to another, again and again, individuals can slowly adapt their bodies, spirits, and minds to the currents of the cosmos, eventually allowing them to move from realm to realm with ease, losing nothing as they travel. Such individuals are also supremely powerful when wielding those abilities that they have mastered across every realm. To differentiate these abilities from others, realm lords tend to call such mastered abilities the abilities of all realms. Realm lords are hard to inflict damage upon or alter in any way, as they are master manipulators of their own personal reality. Only abilities trained to work across all realms can even touch them unless they desire it otherwise. As such, most realm lords are immune to everything except the attacks of another realm lord. On occasion, a being who has only completed travel to a few realms may be able to mimic the movements of a realm lord and duplicate the effects of an ability of all realms, but this is very rare. It is also rare for a being to take up the quest of traveling to hundreds of realms to complete the training to be a realm lord, unless someone who already is a realm lord instructs them to do so. For this reason, the realm lords developed the Trial of the Realms as a way to train potential students. A realm lord teacher would travel to a realm and test the strongest beings there. If any were found capable of surviving realm travel and possessed the latent talent to wield abilities of all realms, they were sent through the portal of trials. This portal would cut them off from their ability to return to realms they had been to before, and place them in a new realm where they would have to relearn their abilities. Once done, it would automatically teleport them to another new realm, where they would need to repeat the process. This would continue until the individual became a realm lord, at which time they would be able to naturally end the portal's influence on them and return home. When Darkfire and Dacheldor were sent through the portal by Edge, the trip taken seemed to span eons, but it is impossible to know how long it actually took. Time works differently in each realm, so eons of time in one could be a few seconds in another. To add to this, the Portal of Trials favors those realms where time moves faster, making it so the least overall time is used on a cosmic scale. In the beginning, the two were separated and most of their primary learning took lifetimes. Each realm was so different, it also gave the two a much different perspective on life in the cosmos. They had relationships, gained friends, had enemies, and learned abilities they never could have fathomed. Completion of their training instantly teleported them to the next realm without a chance to say goodbye to their new companions. It was heart-wrenching. After several lifetimes, the two ended up in the same realm and ran into each other. This was not an accident. The Portal of Trials was designed to pair up students once they started to get the hang of the work on their own. It seemed this was needed to keep most students sane. Darkfire and Dacheldor were no regular students. In some realms, they worked together. In others, they fought each other, pulling the peoples of the realms into their conflict. All of their built-up strife and heartfelt companionship played out, from realm to realm. Eventually they came together and completely forgave one another. Their altering forms across altering realities had caused them to lose much of what made them feel connected to their old lives. They began to be able to sense the will of the cosmos, as if they were a part of it, and then they started finding themselves able to maintain their abilities across realms. The Portal of Trials brought them to a weapon called the Soul Cutter. It was a sword designed as a weapon of all realms. Such a weapon could be wielded by a non-realm lord and provide the ability to damage one. As they learned from it, they began to create their own weapons of all realms, and found that such weapons in the hands of an individual wielding abilities of all realms was beyond anything they had ever experienced. This was why Edge's mighty axe could level cities. Their mastery of their own bodies reached a point where they could shapeshift at will and could make themselves impossible to damage by anything other than an ability of all realms. They could see the specifics of an attack as it came their way and transmute themselves and their surroundings in an instant, in any way to defend against it. They had not only mastered their original abilities across all realms, they had mastered their own forms. This was what it truly meant to be a realm lord. The portal stopped teleporting them, and they knew this meant the trial was at an end. They altered themselves, pulling the portal from their bodies, then took on a form mirroring their original bodies. Lifting a hand, they each opened a portal back to Limbo. They were ready to return home. Return of the Realm Lords. While an immeasurable time passed for Darkfire and Dacheldor, only 10 years passed in Limbo. This was enough time, though, for new trouble to rise in the form of a demonic invasion. Derek Dacheldor, who had been cast out of the heavens, continued to seek a means of imprisoning the Black Angel once again. He stumbled upon an artifact that had the power to give him the strength of a full angel, the wings of the rogue. He knew that absorbing this artifact would forever brand him a heretic by his people, but would make him able to travel between realms as all angels did. He believed the tools needed to imprison the Black Angel lied in Limbo, and he would have to be able to go there freely to find them. In the end, he decided he did not need to redeem himself to the angels. He needed to ensure the cosmos was safe. He absorbed the artifact and grew massive green wings. Traveling to Limbo, he happened upon the Shakarok, who noticed he was Dacheldor's son. Interested in reuniting with Dacheldor in the future, the Shakarok agreed to work with Derek until Dacheldor's return. He took him to see Nicole, who had previously stopped visiting Derek in his realm, and Derek finally came to understand why. She was busy ruling all of Limbo. Derek explained his need to imprison the Black Angel, and Nicole put all the resources she could spare behind him. This led to spies from the Hells informing the Black Angel of the goings-on, and Limbo was besieged by wide-open portals full of demons. The Empire held them off as best they could, but this was unlike any coordinated attack by the Hells before. This was legions upon legions. Even the heavens hesitated to answer the call for help. When the heavens did come, the Black Angel sprung a trap for them, seemingly using what Derek was doing to lure them in. He captured the highest-ranking angels and pulled them into the Hells, personally thanking Derek as he did. Derek tried to rebut this, but the Black Angel looked at him questioningly. "Why fight it?" the Black Angel asked. "You are an outcast like me. You could be so much more if we work together." Derek refused and charged into battle with the Black Angel. He was no match, and would have been destroyed by the Black Angel if Nicole had not stepped in at the last minute and defended him. The half-demon and half-angel sister-brother pair amused the Black Angel, and he contemplated taking them both home with him, but he acted too slowly. A portal in the sky tore open, and Darkfire emerged. Seeing his castle assaulted, he rained storms of concentrated energy down on the demonic armies. Thousands disintegrated in seconds. A second portal opened and Dacheldor flew out. Sensing his former children, he landed in the presence of the Black Angel and swung his newly recrafted demon edge, now a weapon of all realms. An arm and 2 wings flew from the Black Angel, and he fell back in shock. Dacheldor snickered as he saw how powerful he was now compared to the demons and angels that once haunted his nightmares. The Black Angel could not believe his eyes. Within the pulsing energy of Dacheldor's soul, he recognized the energy of the Ancient connected to him. He muttered the words, "Father?" Dacheldor did not know exactly what he meant, but could sense the question was no trick. He withdrew momentarily, giving the Black Angel time to escape through a quickly conjured portal. The remaining forces of the demonic armies also withdrew. With 2 Realm Lords on the scene, there was no longer value in continuing the fight. Derek shouted at Dacheldor for letting the Black Angel escape, but Nicole did not share this sentiment. She thanked him for saving her and embraced him. Even if he was a new being, she loved him like a father, and was more than willing to call him such. The Shakarok kneeled to Dacheldor and pledged loyalty to him once again, humbling his name to simply Shakarok. Seeing Shakarok's intentions were pure, Dacheldor agreed to an alliance with him, but requested he take on a more human-looking form. Shakarok transformed into a resemblance of the fire-haired being that had once used the same name, and moved to stand next to Dacheldor. As Darkfire descended to request the full status of the Empire from Nicole, another portal opened in the sky. Edge appeared, hurling toward the 2 new Realm Lords with a speed only they could fathom. Wanting to spare his castle, Darkfire shot upward at the same speed and slammed into Edge in the distance. Dacheldor followed, and a battle ensued of such speed and precision that none but the three could truly appreciate it. Darkfire and Dacheldor landed attack after attack on Edge, inflicting great damage. He smiled as they did, remarking they had already reached an attack level equal to the Overlord. Weapons of all realms appeared in his hands, and he began returning damage to them. As they fought, it seemed he was perfectly capable of defending against two Realm Lords. Any doubt that he had been holding back during their initial meeting was long gone. Dacheldor moved in for a close-up assault, while Darkfire performed cunning maneuvers from behind. Edge remarked that their teamwork was better than the Overlord's, but that now he would have to see if they could surpass him. He pushed spiritual energy from within his body into his weapons, and it exploded out of them as he struck. Darkfire and Dacheldor had never seen such an attack, and it nearly obliterated them, even with their new abilities. Dacheldor stood on a heap of rubble and lifted his own weapon of all realms. Trying his best to mimic what he had observed, energy poured from him into the blade. His energy, that of an ancient, was absurdly powerful. Darkfire seemingly stood out of sight as if calling it quits for the fight, but when Dacheldor swung his weapon, Darkfire moved as well. He had pushed his own energy into two cables that wound through the ground and shot up into Edge. The spiritual strike was enough to pin him in place so Dacheldor's attack could land. Edge's body shattered from the force of the blast, leaving only broken bits of bone. The bone and ash swirled and pulled together after the blast had cleared. Edge's body reformed from seeming nothingness. This being was not only a Realm Lord, he was something even more powerful. When he was completely restored, his weapons reformed as well. Dacheldor and Darkfire looked at each other, unsure of what to do. Edge threw down his weapons and congratulated them. They had surpassed the Overlord, and had what he believed would be needed to become more than the typical Realm Lords. He walked over to them with his arms extended in a handshake, claiming no further need to fight. They begrudgingly shook his hand, and he shared with them the full truth of his past.